Hello everyone. In this session, we learn about advanced NLP. So let's have a look at the index. First, we learn about what bag of words model is. Then, we'll move on to a better representation of words using word to vector, in which we'll have a look at what is continuous bag of words model and continuous skipgram model. Next, we'll use the fast text library for generating word embeddings. We'll see how to train your own word embedding space and also how to get the word embedding vectors from the fast text library. So let's start by understanding what bag of words model is. So as the name suggests, bag of words means that let's say you have a paragraph. You take all of the words of your paragraph and put them inside a bag. Putting them inside a bag means that you lose all the contextual information of each word and just have all the words of your paragraph inside the bag. Next, you collect all the words and put the number of times the word is seen in the paragraph beside it. So you create a frequency table of all the words in your paragraph. This model is called bag of words. Let's take an example to get a better feeling about the bag of words model. So let's say we have two sentences. John likes to watch movies, Mary likes movies too, and the other data point is Mary also likes to watch football games. The bag of words model will have the John word, which is seen once, likes word, which is seen thrice. So over here in the first sentence, in the second sentence, and in the third sentence, and so on. So this is how you use bag of words model to convert your words and sentences into numbers. Now, how to use it to train a neural network or a linear regression model? You need you feed in a fixed length vector and use it for classification. For example, let's say for the first sentence, you see, let's say we take John as the first word. So John has a frequency of 1. Hence, the first value of this vector is 1. The next vector likes has a value. So the next word is likes and it comes twice in the sentence. So that is why we take 2. The next word is 2, which has the space and 0 embedding as 2, and the 2 comes once in the entire sentence. So we have 1 and so on. So this will be a fixed length vector because for words which do not come in the sentence, the frequency is set to 0. We can feed this to a neural network to classify whether the sentence belongs to a certain class or not. So the advantage of words model is that it is very simplistic and can be used to solve tasks like spam filter. So using bag of words, you can create a very good spam filter. But the disadvantage is that this kind of model is too simplistic. It does not capture the grammar, sequence information, or meaning of the sentence. Also, as the number of words grow in the corpus means your dataset, the input dimensions will become very large. In the previous slide, we saw that the input dimension is of length 10 because there are a total of 10 words in our corpus. But if you have a look at the English dictionary, it's very large. So the input length will become very large, increasing your computation resources as well. So these are some of the disadvantages of bag of words model. Let us have a look at the word to vec model to understand and try to solve these disadvantages of the bag of words model. Before we do that, bag of words has a hashing trick to save a bit of memory. So storing all the words in the English dictionary can consume a lot of space in the memory. And to optimize this, instead of storing the words, a hash function is created which maps the words to an integer. What it means is that storing the entire words will take a lot of memory, and instead of that, you can store an integer which corresponds to every word. Now, how do you create these integers? You can do so by using a hash function. So, every word maps to an integer using the hash function. Now, this hash function does not have any parameters. So, it's very cheap to store the hash function, and now you do not need to store your words in your memory. When you get a new word, you pass it through the hash function, you get an integer which you use to get the frequency. So this saves a lot of time. Also, it reduces the memory consumption while storing your bag of words model. So let's have a look at Word2Vec and see how it covers up the disadvantages of bag of words model. So Word2Vec was proposed in 2013 in the paper Efficient Estimation of Word Representations in Vector Space. The research was done in Google, and the first author was Thomas Michaelov. So, as we discussed, the motivation was to create word representations in an n dimension space where the word representations are closer to similar words and far from words having different or opposite meaning in the Euclidean space. We have other motivations as well, like in the previous example, we saw that the number of input dimensions becomes very large in the bag of words model when the number of words start increasing. Also, we lose a lot of contextual information in the bag of words model. So, these two things plus creating the word representations in an space where two words having similar meaning are close to each other. As you can see in this image, a woman and queen are close to each other in this space. Similarly, man, king, a father is close to the girl and son, a mother is close to a boy and daughter, and so on. Also, it would be really great if our models can learn relations between different words. For example, if our model can learn that as slow is to slower, fast is to faster, that is also an added advantage of create of having such a word representation in an n dimension space. So let us see how we can create such an embedding space and how to achieve this. So before we start getting into Word2Vec, let's have a look at creating a very simple way of creating word representations, which is the one hot encoding. So we have a lot of words. Let's say we have 100,000 words. Each word corresponds to a 1 on the index of a 100,000 dimension vector. So in this embedding space, every word embedded is orthogonal to every other word embedding. Orthogonal means that when you take a dot product of two different word embeddings, the value is 0. So this is the worst possible word embedding space because there is no correlation between two word embeddings. So words which have similar meaning are as far away as words having different meaning. Also, this has a very large dimension as the dimension of the embedding space is equal to the number of words. So it can increase the computation requirements. So what we want to achieve is a fixed size embedding which has correlation with words having similar meaning. We'll be using neural networks to learn such embeddings. So first of all, let's have a look at what self-supervised tasks are. Without using any labels, we create a pseudo training input output pairs to train a network. So we actually do not have any labeled data, but we create some labeled data pairs and train our network. For example, let's say in our data set, we have a lot of texts. Let's say we scrape our Wikipedia and we get a lot of content. Then we can create an input output pair, like we provide the text, put the cup in the, and ask the model to predict the next word, which is sink. We do not need to label or spend manual annotations to create such a dataset, but you can train a neural network to take in these inputs and predict the next word. Using such tasks, you can learn embedding spaces and also pre-train your network weights, which learn some useful information from the sentences. So if you train a network which is able to predict the next word correctly, it means that your network has captured the meaning of the sentence. So let's see, in word to vector, we have the continuous bag of words model. So let's have a look at what this continuous bag of words model does. The task in this model is to use n past words and n future words to predict the current word. For example, we have 5 words. So at the current time step t, we have w of t. So we have two previous words, which is w of t minus 1 and w of t minus 2, and two future words, w of t plus 1 and w of t plus 2. Using these inputs, we want to train a network which will predict the current word, which is w of t. The inputs and outputs are one-hot encoded vectors. The input is linearly mapped to the projection space. So the projection space, you can think of as a hidden layer, but there is no activation function applied over here. Also, this projection space is mapped linearly to the output layer. To calculate the word probabilities, we apply a softmax activation function after the linear mapping from the projection to the output. So if we train a model to take in the one-hot representation of two future words and two past words and predict the one-hot embedding of the current word, the projection space which is learned can be used to create word embeddings. So let's say you have a word embedding, you represent it using a one-hot embedded vector, and then you use the projection matrix, which is the first layer of your neural network, and you get the hidden feature space. This feature space is the word embedding, which has captured all the relevant information of the word and projected into a space. How come this space has different words of the same meaning close to each other? That is because, let's say you have 5 words, and to predict the current word, so you want to predict the word at time step t. There can be multiple candidates to predict for the time step t. All those candidates would have a similar meaning. So you can have beautiful, delightful, and so on, which words which are have nearly similar meaning, which can take up. So all of these are the possible output cases. Now, in our dataset, if our dataset is very large, there will be multiple sentences. One case, there will be, let's say, beautiful. In the other case, actually, the output should be delightful. So the model learns to project both beautiful and delightful to the same projection space to get the output. One thing to notice over here is that there is no single output possible for these input cases. There can be multiple outputs. So our model will never be able to completely minimize the loss function. But that is not our target over here. What we want to do is we want to achieve a projection space where similar words are mapped to a closer values. So that is achieved using the projection matrix, even though the loss is not minimized completely. So once you have trained a very good model which is able to predict the output quite well, you have your learned weights which can be used to project a word to the projection space. Surprisingly, the projection space learns the vectors which are relational to one another. What it means is that, let's say you have small, so let us go back to the figure. So let's say you have slow and you have the word embedding of slower. If you subtract the word embedding of slower from slow, so you get a vector, and then let's say you add this vector to fast. Now you get a new vector and you try to calculate the closest possible vector in your dictionary. You will find that the faster is the closest word if you subtract, if you add the vector which you got from subtracting slower and slow. This means that your word embedding space represents the meanings in a linear sense. So the slow to slower is a linear, so the difference is a linear representation, and it's the same as the space between the fast to faster. So this means that our word representation space is linear and it captures the representations of different words and their relations as well. Now, there can be another way to get such a word embedding space, and that is by using the scriptgram model. The scriptgram model is very similar to the continuous bag of words model. The difference is that instead of predicting the current word from the future words and the past words, you use the current word to predict the future and the past words. Looking at the figure, it seems that the figure has reversed. Instead of predicting our current word, we feed in the current word, project it to the projection space, and use it to predict the past two words and the future two words. Everything else remains the same. For example, the input and the output space are one hot encoded. The input is linearly mapped to the projection space, which is again linearly mapped to the output space. In the output space, we apply softmax and then train the model to minimize the distance between the output and the target one hot encoding. In the skipgram model, this model learns to predict the context from a single word. This is more complicated task than the continuous bag of words model, but this task also learns word embeddings which have similar properties to the continuous bag of words model. So these are two different methods which can be used to generate word embeddings. So let's have a look at what are the differences and what are the advantages and disadvantages of using the continuous bag of words model or the skipgram model. So it is found that the scriptgram model works well with small datasets and can better represent less frequent words. However, the continuous bag of words is found to train faster than skipgram and can better represent more frequent words. So the skipgram model captures some different things than the continuous bag of words model, and depending upon the task you have, whether you want to have better representations of less frequent words, or whether you want to capture more frequent words because they are more frequently found in the dataset. So depending upon your task, you will choose either of them to train your model. Now, let's have a look at FastText, which is a library from Facebook. The FastText library has some inbuilt functions to train your word embeddings and to use pre-trained models for generating word embedding vectors. So if you want to train your own word embeddings, you just need to have a data.txt file which will contain all the words or sentences that you want to train a continuous bag of words model or a skipbrack model on. So you import fasttext in Python and you directly use fasttext.train unsupervised. You pass in the path of your data.txt file and you specify model equal to skipgram. This will generate a model based on the skipgram method, and this will train your entire word embedding space. Or to get a continuous bag of words model, you just need to change the model equal to CBOW. And that is, this will train your word embedding space using the fasttext model. The fasttext word embedding space generator is slightly different from the one proposed in the word2vec model, but for now it does not matter much. A fasttext word embedding space is much better than the word2vector model proposed in 2013. The fasttext was proposed by the same authors in 2017 as an improvement over word2vec. Once you have trained a model, you can save the model by using model.save underscore model and providing the file name. And you can later retrieve the model using load underscore model and providing the file name. To get the word embeddings, you can use the function get underscore word underscore vector. If you pass in your text to this get underscore word underscore vector, you will get an array in the word embedding space of your corresponding word. As we saw earlier that we can load pre-saved models, which are actually called pre-trained models. Fasttext has provided a lot of pre-trained models on the English language as well as 157 other languages. So you can go over these links and get a pre-trained word embedding model and then load your model using the fasttext.load underscore model function. Also, in the documentation of fasttext, all of the functions and their uses are mentioned, which you can read to understand how fasttext works.